Ek wil weer my meal prep doen. So ek gaan weer vir my daai blended oats maak en dan wil ek onthou dit daai chicken wraps wat ek gemaak het met die halumi en 'n keer. Ek het van daai gehou, so ek wil weer van daai maak. Nee. Maar ek gaan dit eintlik vir lunch. Something en lettuce en
Wat is dat, Rex?
nee, ek moet 'n wraps koop en dan moet ek seker nog weer vir die hond ook weer something koop. En dan wil ek ook nog net checkers toe gaan hierna vir
Is het zo klaar? Is het nog een chick?
as hy koop hy nou. Aha. Ek het nog gevat carrots en broccoli en wat nog? Aardappels vir vanaand. Daar is aardappels by die huis. Hæ?
Rijstbel.
Ja, maar wat 'n veggies nog as daai fyn carrots, broccoli. Hy tel nie op hè.
Kijk, baby broccoli. Die is cauliflower.
Oh ja. As papa nog een chicken is, kan papa brown onion soep koop van Knol. Dis mos nie daai nie. Ek wil nie so klomp veggies in die kos sit nie. Nee? En dan nodig ek my halloumi cheese. Hierso. Jo, maar dit is soos gesluis. Wat is die difference tussen die en daai? Oh, dis Woolies nou. Oh, dink jy jou organic is duurder as die normal? Price on item. Ja, so. As nog as frik die. Oh, maar die is cheaper. Soos R20 cheaper. So ons gaan al die halloumi opeet binne sy idee. Red onion, ons het red onions vir die huis. Met light mayo. En dan van my breakfast, is daar nog oats? Ek kan nog nie onthou nie, is ek nog nie. Daar is chia seeds, daar is protein powder, almond milk wat ek koop, Greek yogurt. Ooh, Faluda. My favorites. Faluda is die rede hoekom ek hier gewaffel word. Het hulle nie een is met die gronddoppie nie. Daar's voor. Die is vet-free. So no fat. Berries en strawberries. Ga je gaan krijgen, dankie. What else do I need? These are so yummy. And I can't go without chips. So much better than usual chips. Ga krijgen. Thank you, baby. Ja, dat is mos peanut butter, né? Wanneer nou nie mag jy eet. Is dit lekker? Ze doen het toch van die olie, maar ik wil niet. Oh, brood, lief hoe lang zal hij brood wel daar nu?
Brood hier.
Oh, zeg als ik kan. Is lemon niet flavor, né? Lekker. Dat is actually bij lekker. Die is die van die beef stew dinges. En ek wil nog een daai gevat het, maar die lamb is fijn. Oh, die almond milk. Ja. Ik heb nog nooit zo baie keer vergeet van die melkie. Lief. Weet je waar is die winkel se almond milk? Oh, hier zo. Ja. Ik zoek eintlik 'n ander brands in my Woolies se koop daai en ek dink Checkers het dit. Light mayonnaise ons op. Daai mayonnaise wat jy altyd loskoop. Light mayonnaise. Ek hou van die van 'n groter. En dan gou dit lekker. Sorry, ek dink dit is alles. Nee. Dan vir die honde chicken. Pitmint. Waar zo? Oh, daar zo.
Van item.
Ja.
Net een pak.
Ja, net een en dan is het te veel.
Met kruiden bij.
Is fijn.
Check out die pizza.
Wat? Kan het wat? Gaat jy het eet? Jy weet, hy is misschien niet dan so goed en so. Maar mens kan dit eet as ons wat sy ander kos? Wat sy ander kos lief? Wat sy ander kos se naam? Trifle, nie trifle nie. Is that all?
Ek sal maar iets gee.
Ek gaan nou die kos maak. Nog wat wil?
So maak sugar mommy.
Okay, so we got all our groceries. Now it's time for my least favorite part of the day, which is packing this away. So what I like to do is first organize what's going into the pantry and what's going into the fridge so that I don't have to walk up and down like a crazy person. I don't think I'm putting a lot of things in the fridge because I'm going to be using most of them now. Okay, let's see, what are we actually putting away? I feel like I'm going to need all of this now. I'm not going to need the wraps. This is for tomorrow. And I'm also not going to need these mangoes. I'll just put them there for now. I'm going to need this, and this. This is Ambroses, so I'm not going to use this now. Alrighty then. So firstly, I'm going to work on tonight's supper because this can cook while I do the rest of the meal prep for tomorrow. For supper, I don't really like to meal prep because we do like eating something else every night. So for supper, we're having some lamb stew. I just bought a few veggies. I'm going to do a very basic one just with carrots and some cauliflower and some potatoes. Empress and I both had chicken for lunch, so we are in the mood for something meaty. And I'm chopping up some onions. This is one whole brown onion, and this I'm gonna put at the bottom of the pan to make a gravy. And then later on, I'm gonna add a red onion also, but that's gonna be whole and also like a veggie. Get that heat up before you add the onions. And I'm using some lamb knuckles. This is my favorite because I love mugbeentjies. I don't know what it is in English. Marrow bones. Now the oil is nice and hot. And I'm gonna pop in the brown onions. Ooh, that's what we wanna hear. The sizzle. And then I'm gonna just let it brown slightly. Then I'm gonna add the meat and also let the meat brown. While that's busy, I'm gonna start peeling my potatoes. I don't think I'm gonna add a lot of potatoes because there's carrots also in. I like taking a bag, plastic bag that I'm gonna throw away, and then peeling the potatoes inside of it. It just makes it easier to clean. Like so, you know, old school auntie vibes. Or a shikasaki. Keeping an eye on those onions. Huh? Oh, Shika's a vlog with my ma. My ma gaan nou weer Jolanda video kyk. I lag sy weer vir haar eie jokes. Okay, just giving it a stir so that it's brown on both sides. And now I'm gonna do some carrots. I think I'm gonna add about half a packet of medium carrots. That should be enough. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's make it 6. I love veggies, guys. I don't know how people don't eat vegetables or not like it. It's not my favorite thing. I would have food that's just vegetable. Would I be able to go vegan? Probably not. Lief het ons 'n peeler. A peeler. It's vegetable peeler. Wait. Okay, I don't usually use the peeler, but hoe kan laat jy as 'n peeler? Wat hoor jy hierso? Uit die hand uit. This is why Emrose must go sit upstairs while I make YouTube videos. He's not allowed to be here. Maar jy nie mag kyk ons veel lief. Kyk jy nou live YouTube video.
Was dit live?
Nee, ek sê jy kyk nou 'n live YouTube video van ek maak 'n video. Die peeler maak nog as lekker vanaf. Die peeler maak nog as die peeler met 'n R agter. Ek nou American begin praat. This peeler is literally amazing. Our carrots are done with the peeler. I'm just gonna chop it up. I'm not gonna make it too small. I'm done with my sake. And the onions are starting to brown. I'm just gonna pop this into the water here with the potatoes. Give it a rinse. So once you have some nice brown color on your onions, I like to put them to the side and then pop in the meat. The meat I always do on the fat side first, just to get some nice color on the fat. And if it's not fat, I put it on the side of the marrow bone. These type of parts I like to put down, and this makes it nice and crispy. Then at this point I add the garlic. If you add the garlic too early, it can burn. So I add it at the same time as the meat, about 3 teaspoons of garlic. Then a little bit of fresh green chili just for that little bite. And this you leave until the fat starts to get nice and crispy like that. My mom always says, ons moet die vlees 'n bietjie laat squeeze. So I like to leave it for a little while. And you repeat this until all sides of the meat is nice and brown. While that's busy, I'm going to start on my rice. Today I'm making jasmine rice, and this needs to soak in water for about 20 minutes before you cook it. So I'm just going to prep this so long. I think 1 cup should be enough. Let's say 1.5. We are 3 people. And if there are any leftovers for tomorrow, it also needs rice. Actually, I think 1 cup should be fine. 1 heaped cup of rice. Gonna soak this in water. Some cold water. Put it aside. And let that soak for 20 minutes. So now I'm gonna make some stock. I'm gonna take one of these liquid concentrate packs from Woolies. I think 1 should be enough. Like that. And about a cup of water. Thank you for the background music. Ali. Ek gaan nou op die video sit, nee. So this is what you want your meat to look like, nice and brown. You see it looks almost burnt, but not yet. And this makes the best gravy. And then at this point you add the beef stock. And now we're just gonna let it cook and move on to our next meal. I'm gonna put the lid on and let that just cook and simmer and clean up a bit before I start prepping my breakfast. So for breakfast tomorrow, I'm gonna have blended overnight oats. This is my favorite because I really find it easy to get it down in the morning. Some mornings I'm just like not listed chew. I'm not listed something heavy. So this has been perfect and I really enjoy it in the mornings. You're gonna need a blender, some oats, chia seeds, plain fat-free yogurt, almond milk or almond drink. Protein powder, I'm using the one from Wildcat. I like this one because it also has collagen, so it's like, you know, double the fun. And then optional, some honey to make it a bit sweeter if you want to, you don't have to. I have this little kitchen scale. This is the MasterChef one. I think Spa or Checkers has it, Spa. It makes it much easier than trying to weigh it out in cups because I am working on grams for this one. I'm making 2 servings, so this is going to be my breakfast for Tuesday and Wednesday. That's going to be 80 grams of oats. For 1 serving, it's 40. So if you want to make 1 serving, you just halve whatever I'm using now, or if you're making more, you just measure it up to however much you want. 20 grams of chia seeds. This is not a lot, so I'm gonna go slow with this one. This also keeps me full for quite a while. So even sometimes if I don't have this and I just have like normal porridge or whatever, then I am hungry after gym, but this will keep me full even after gym, which is what I like. 30 grams of the protein powder. You can use any protein powder, preferably a vanilla one because the vanilla flavor is nice in this, and I think it just works better with the recipe. But obviously if you want like a chocolate flavor one, we're gonna change the flavor of the recipe, which is fine. So as you can see, this is quite a protein-packed breakfast, which we love. 160 grams of plain yogurt. This is 150, but it's okay. I'm not gonna open one just to make it 160. I might just add a little bit more milk than I usually would. I see now I did measure up to 160, so maybe my scale is out of tune, or maybe it was enough. It's supposed to be 200 ml, but I like it a little bit more runny than thick, so I am gonna add a whole cup. And this is 1 full cup of this. I can actually take it off the scale now. A little bit of honey. I just eyeball the amount of honey, just like that. And then this is gonna go onto the blender. This is what you should end up with. I know it doesn't look very appetizing, but trust me, it's really nice. If you like oats especially, or if you are like a porridge person, you'll really love this. There's so much protein packed in here. I think it's about 40 grams, let's say, give or take. I need to check again. So when I want to check how much protein something has, or how much fat it has, or how many calories are in it, I use the MyFitnessPal app. And you can use this also if you want to like track your calories for the day. I used to do it, but honestly, like with my busy schedule and me always being up and down, it's very difficult because I don't always have a scale to see what exactly was thrown in, or you know how much oil a place used if I'm eating from some places. There are some restaurants like listed on there, like Hawaii's meals are on there, but the other places like normal restaurants or smaller restaurants don't have their meals on there, so I don't really use it to track. But if you want to see how much protein is in something, so I meal prep mainly to have, you know, something to eat, because I know I'm going to be busy, and not really to track my calories. I used to track my calories before our wedding, and I ended up, I think, losing about 6 kgs in total. I started training 4 months before the wedding, and you know, I was in a calorie deficit, and that's when I really like used the app properly. I only ate within a certain amount of calories and all of that stuff, and you know, it worked, and I was at a weight I wanted to be when the wedding came, and I gained it all back the December after the wedding. Okay, so the timer just went off for the rice. I'm gonna put that on just in time. So I enjoy cooking like this, like in a sequence. I'm doing this, then I do that, and all of that, like have my timing right to get onto the next thing, because I am in the kitchen, and it's easier to work like this than having to do everything after each other, or doing it tomorrow, then I'm not in the mood. I was gonna meal prep my lunch for tomorrow also, but I decided I'm going to do it tomorrow afternoon because I will have some time to do it. So before I do the toppings of this, I'm really gonna put the rice on the stove. We can't forget that this is still the food for tonight, so I need to get it done. So when I was studying and in university, I was always like, why do you need to rinse your rice? Like, it's in a package, it's clean. And then whenever I cooked my rice, it would have like a white foamy layer on it. And then I realized, okay, maybe this is why you must clean the rice, and now it doesn't have that white foamy layer anymore. So onto the stove, the rice goes with some boiled water. And don't forget to add some salt into your boiling rice. The jasmine rice goes for about 14 minutes. And now I'm gonna add the potatoes and carrots into the meat. There's still enough water in it. It's about medium heat, medium to low heat. And I'm just gonna pop in the carrots and potatoes. While the rice is on, I'm gonna leave this with the lid on, and then when the rice is done, I'm gonna add the rest of the veggies. And of course, some salt into the food as well. So for the toppings of the blended oats, you can basically do anything because it's vanilla flavored base. So whatever you like, you can use. I like a peanut butter flavor because it also adds a little bit of protein, and I like nuts. I'm using a crunchy one, so it is quite thick, and I just put some here in the middle, a nice scoop of it. I like mix it up in the morning again. And then I have a few berries and strawberries. You can add whatever fruit. You can do mango, you can do banana, whatever flavor you're in the mood for. And then I just chop it over. For extra bit of love, we are adding a block of 70% dark chocolate. This is a 10-gram block, so it's about 5 grams of chocolate into each one. This is just for that liquor chocolatey surprise in between while you eat. Then we close these off, and they are ready to chow tomorrow into the fridge. Now I think the rice should almost be ready. Once the rice is ready, I'm gonna pop in the rest of the veggies, which is cauliflower and then some red onion that I also chopped up. The rice is done and strained, and I'm gonna add in the cauliflower. Just gonna put this on top so that it can basically steam. I don't want it to get super soft and disappear within the food. So just like that. And the same thing with the red onion. I'm just trying to break it up a bit. So I'm just leaving this on top, and this is gonna cook for another 15 or so minutes. I'm not gonna cover the cauliflower and the red onion in the sauce right now because I just wanted to steam. And then in about 10 minutes or so, I'm also gonna add more flavoring. It's been cooking for about 15 minutes, and honestly, this point for me personally is like a thing of whatever is in the house we're gonna use. So my mom's little secret is the brown onion soup from Knorr. Whenever she makes like a stew or something, this is her go-to, and I also like it a lot. So I'm gonna take 1 packet of that. I'm gonna take some Worcester sauce, just a little bit. And then I'm gonna add some coriander leaves, the dry ones. I wanted to add fresh, but I don't have, so this is just gonna go in there. And then you can also add a bay leaf. Then I also have these garlic flakes, which I like, just a little bit. Honestly, like, it's literally whatever there is tonight. One night I make it like this, next night I make it a different way. And then I'm also just gonna add a little bit of sugar just to balance all the flavors out. Sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. That should be enough. And then I like to do a lot of pepper. Honestly, I feel like this could even just be the brown onion soup, salt, pepper. Give that a stir. You can also add more chilies if you want to. And this is the only water I've added again since I added the stock at the beginning. This is just going over everything. Then I'm just gonna let this simmer for a bit before I check if it needs some more salt or pepper or anything like that. The food is ready, so I'm gonna dish up now for Ambrose and I. I'm gonna put some of the rice. I like a lot of rice. This one for Ambrose. A little bit of all the veggies. I would have loved to put some fresh coriander on top, but we don't have. So it's just plain stew tonight with this yummy sauce. Oh, Lee, I need your help, yo. Ja, met sal dink al my chums aan my voorberei vir dit, maar duidelik nie. Ek het nog 'n klein bietjie losgemaak vir jou. Ek het 'n klein bietjie losgemaak vir jou. Sien ek het jou baie gehelp. And a little bit of beetroot. I love beetroot. Jy soek seker nie so baie nie, nee. Kyk gou. Nog 'n bietjie. Ek het afgevaar vir jou, nee. Guys, I'm so hungry. So I'm really gonna enjoy this right now. We're gonna go eat now. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning for breakfast. Morning. I literally just woke up like 10 minutes ago. I need to leave in about 30 minutes, so I just got up. I'm gonna have my brekkie and then I'm gonna get ready to go to my Pilates class. So this is what we have the next morning, and then I just like to mix it all together. This is my favorite part, that I can just get up and my breakfast is done and I don't have to spend any time making breakfast. It just makes things so easy. Otherwise I feel like I struggle to get out of bed because I'm like, ugh, I still need to make breakfast before I can even eat. And this is just such an easy eat in the morning. And once you mix it, it looks like your regular oats. And I find it like, you know when you add chocolate into your popcorn at the cinema and you never know what's going to be the next bite. Are you going to have chocolate or not? And this is the same thing. Like now I don't know if I'm going to have a berry. Am I going to have a piece of chocolate? Am I going to have a piece of peanut butter? Ta-da! Yummy. Crunching on that chocolate. So good. I need to go shoot content at location, so I need to drive there. I'm gonna go do my Pilates, come back, get ready again, go shoot the content, and I'll go do that in the morning so that I don't have to be stuck in any traffic, and then come back and edit for the rest of the day because I also want to post this video today. I'm gonna finish this and get ready for the rest of the day. It's now 2:45. I am extremely hungry because I just shot a campaign for 2 hours and I actually wish that I did this yesterday, but let's make this lunch. I'm gonna make enough for about 4 of these wraps, so I can at least use this tomorrow and the day after. This is a super easy chicken and halloumi wrap. It's easy, but it's very, very nice. So I'm gonna take 1 red onion, a small one, not that big, and I'm just gonna chop this up into small blocks. You want it to be almost like those type of onion size you'll get on a quarter pounder from McDonald's, you know, like those small ones, because it's gonna go into the wrap raw. For this recipe, I like to chop everything up before I start making the chicken because the chicken goes so quick. So I like to have everything ready and then I can just assemble everything once the chicken is done. I'm really hungry and this is why meal prep is important, because if I done all of this yesterday, I could have already been eating. But it's fine. I'm gonna be happy about it tomorrow. I'll probably have this for lunch again tomorrow if I don't have it as supper. But for me, this is more of a lunch option. I feel like it's a bit too light for supper unless I have it like with some chips or potato wedges or something like that. I don't know yet what to have for supper tonight, but this is gonna be the last meal of this vlog. I don't want to keep you guys here for like 2 hours. And I also don't want to eat it for 5 million years. And I want to post this today, so I'm gonna try to edit this video as soon as I get done with this. I did in fact not get done with editing this yesterday. This was all done on Tuesday. It's Wednesday today. I went to go play paddle with my friends, so I'm sorry that I'm one day late, besties. So this is basically my meal to edit. Otherwise I'm gonna be too hungry to even think about editing. And then I'm gonna only use some of it today and the rest is for the wraps tomorrow. And then I'm gonna chop up some lettuce. I also like to make it into little strips. I think I'm just gonna make enough for today's wrap. Then I'm gonna thinly slice some tomato. I don't like big chunks of tomato in wraps and things. I try to make my tomatoes super thin because I'm not like a big raw tomato fan. So when I do have tomato, it must be super thin slices. I'm very particular about my tomatoes on wraps and sandwiches. Usually at restaurants I won't order something that has tomato in because I want it to be this thin. Otherwise I don't want it. And then the halloumi. I did not know that this is so expensive. But okay, I feel like all cheeses are expensive nowadays. Each wrap you'll need about 3 slices. So also not too thick, but also not too thin because you are gonna make it in the pan. So if you don't like halloumi, you can also just use cheddar cheese, which is what I usually put for M roast. And about this thickness, not too thin, not too thick. In here I have about 400 grams of chicken breast that's sliced into thin tenders. And in this I'm gonna add a tablespoon of paprika. Sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. And then a tablespoon of garlic flakes. So it's like dried garlic. Sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. And then salt and pepper. Where is my salt now again? If you want to make this a bit spicy, you can add some chili flakes, but I prefer it just like this. Some salt, some pepper, and then just give this a mix until everything is covered with the spices. Super easy recipe to make. And then you just want everything to be nice and covered. Oh, I forgot it's load shedding. So we need to do this old school. Hey. To keep this recipe low fat, I'm using olive oil spray. So it's just like my favorite olive oil, which is Willow Creek, in a spray bottle. And then you just spray it a little bit. That's enough for 3-4 sprays. Let that heat up, and then we're gonna add in the chicken. I'm gonna let this fry for about 5 minutes. Then I'm gonna add a tablespoon of sweet chili sauce and let it go for another 5 minutes before I start doing the halloumi. This is after about 5 minutes. The heat is between medium to high. So now I'm gonna add a teaspoon of sweet chili sauce. Now I'm adding in the sweet chili sauce, and I'm just gonna let it cover all the chicken and fry for another 2-3 minutes. Should be okay. I just realized I'm making enough for 4, so I need to add about 3 tablespoons. Yeah, I think 4 will be a bit too much. I was working on the measurements of 1. So fry this up. The sweet chili sauce must basically just get nice and warm and sticky. I'm going to do the halloumi also in a big pan, because after that I'm going to use the same pan to heat up the wrap. I'm going to put it on medium to low heat, let the pan heat up. The halloumi goes quite quick, so while the pan is busy heating up, I'm going to start assembling my wraps along. For these wraps, I like using a big wrap. This is the burrito wrap from Woolworths. Makes it a bit easier to fold if the wrap is nice and big. And then I'm going to add some of the oil into the pan. Just 2 sprays is enough. So first in is going to go about a tablespoon of the light mayo. The lettuce. You can do quite a bunch of lettuce. And then the tomato. I like to put a little bit of salt and pepper on my tomato so that it's not so fresh. Pop in the halloumi slices into the pan. You're just gonna let it go golden brown on both sides. And now I'm gonna put the chicken off. You can cool down a little bit before I put it into the wrap. Some of the red onion sprinkled over there. Another squeeze of sweet chili sauce. Okay, flip the halloumi. This is what we have so far. So on top of this, we're just gonna add the halloumi and the chicken. This is the color you want on your halloumi. It should almost look like grilled calamari. Pop on the halloumi. We're not gonna use all of the chicken. We're only gonna use a few strips because we're saving some for tomorrow as well. I'm aiming for about 100 grams of chicken in each wrap, but you can just eyeball it. So this is the size of the chicken. I think about 4 to 5. You take some kitchen towel and just wipe all of the oil out of the pan. Hold your wrap whichever way you like. I like doing like the burrito style, so folding it completely closed. So I like doing it like that, like a little baby. And then we pop it into the pan. Just get some color on both sides of the wrap and then it should be done. I'm very hungry. I can't wait to eat. While the wrap is getting some color, I'm gonna start packing away the ingredients that I'm gonna use again tomorrow. I like using these glass containers for meal prep because let's say I have the full meal ready in here, then I can just pop it into the microwave. Now you see, if I had done this last night, then my work could have been basically done today, but it's fine. Now I get nice, fresh and hot chicken. So tomorrow I'll just heat up the chicken and then make my halloumi in the pan. You can't really make the halloumi. Why didn't no one tell me this pan was off the whole time? Damn, this is better than KFC because it tastes good and it is good for you. Okay, I'm gonna slice it open. It's still very hot and yummy. This is my lunch. Can you tell? I'm so excited to eat because I'm so hungry, guys. It's still a bit hot though, so I'm just gonna get me a glass of cold water. It's super hot today. This is what it should look like at the end. Cheesy, sweet chili. Oh, my mouth is watering. I'm gonna start eating right here in the kitchen because I'm so hungry. And yes, the moment I've been waiting for. So good. I'm gonna wrap things up with this wrap, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe and comment what you want to see more of on my channel. If you want to see more of these type of videos where I show you what I eat in a day or just make some more recipes, let me know and I'll see you guys next week. Bye bye.